Laura Frier, a former Gears of War executive producer, admitted she is baffled by why Ubisoft chose to make Assassin's Creed Shadows with Yasuke as the main protagonist. I wrote this up over at fandompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. I encourage you to head on over, become a paid subscriber, help support us in fighting back against this woke infection that is trying to burn down the video games industry and destroy our culture and society at large. So in a recent video upload titled The Games Industry Elephant, Frier discussed how video game companies decided to hire localizers and consultants in order to mitigate risks regarding geopolitical issues. She shared one example. There was also that time when all the Microsoft distributors in Turkey were arrested because Encarta 95 had released with a map that included an area of Kurdistan. That one did get fixed. Of course, Microsoft was a good company. They didn't want people getting arrested, and they knew they couldn't expect game developers to be well-versed in geopolitical issues. Again, this is back in the 90s. I think Microsoft has drastically changed. I would not consider them a good company now, mainly because the people that work there are not good people. And I think that is one of the things that people forget. And that as gamers, we are actually seeing this, right? You can keep the name of the company, but you replace all the people that work there. It is not the same company. It is a very different company with very different goals, ideas, and values. Nevertheless, she continued saying, so they started hiring. They hired a group of localizers and created an entire group to help the product teams be sensitive to those issues. You couldn't have a game developer putting the Microsoft brand at risk. So I think this all kind of makes sense. I mean, people were literally arrested for having this map, and they wanted to ensure that that wouldn't happen in the future. So I think that is actually a good thing that they did. But obviously, we see how you have this good thing. Can you go further down the slippery slope? You get new people in. They start pushing the DEI woke agenda. And so you can see kind of how it started because people were replaced. They lost their sense of morality. They brought in people who lacked a moral compass or lacked a moral compass that pointed in the right direction. And then you get people pushing woke DEI garbage, which is evil. From there, Frier transitioned to Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows. She said this, after having those experiences, I'm baffled about some of the things I'm seeing today. Did any of the executives at Ubisoft question whether or not doing Assassin's Creed Shadows was a good idea? Oh, I think they did. They made Assassin's Creed Shadows specifically to push the DEI agenda, which we'll get to in a little bit. They are not looking at this as the same as what Laura Frier is looking at this. They're not looking at it as being a game that is offensive to the people of Japan. They don't look at it at that at all. They're not looking at that in that manner. They look at it as a game to push their woke DEI agenda, which they've doubled down on. Again, I'll get to that in a little bit. Nevertheless, she goes on and says, I've been to Japan many times. I've worked with Namco as a producer on Revenge of Arcade, and during Xbox, I managed a team there. I love the people and the culture. And based on that experience, I would never have agreed to do this game because even if you handled it as delicately as possible, it's easy to make a mistake, and I think they have. And they definitely made a mistake, and they've doubled down on that mistake. They delayed the game to February, where it will be now released in the United States here during African American Month. And I think they're going to try and use that as a shield, despite Yasuke not being African American at all. He's literally an African, allegedly from Mozambique. And so they're spending another 20 million euros on the game as well. So they're spending even more money on the game, which I don't think they're going to recover. I don't think delaying the game is going to recover those costs. So not only are they trying to shield their agenda by moving it to February, but they're also spending more money, which I don't think they're going to recover. So I think they're making lots and lots and lots of mistakes because the management there just has no clue what they're doing anymore. And they admit this. They admit that they don't know what they're doing. I've covered that in previous videos with Mark Alexis Cote, literally saying he doesn't know where gamers are, he doesn't know what gamers are playing, etc. I mean, complete and utter incompetence, yet the guy is somehow still being paid by Ubisoft and is the head of Assassin's Creed, their entire Assassin's Creed brand. He's the executive producer. Anyways, Frier goes on and says the game isn't even out and it's already mired in controversy, and this isn't what you want for your game. Maybe it'll blow over and they'll be able to navigate this, but if not, that was a very expensive experiment. I do not think that this is going to blow over, and I don't think they're going to navigate it, mainly because Mark Alexis Cote is Ubisoft's executive producer on Assassin's Creed, and he has made it clear the company is doubling down on its DEI agenda with Shadows. As reported by Eurogamer during a BAFTA event in London just a couple of months ago, Kote said this: "At the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is not just a franchise, it's a platform for entertainment, dialogue, discovery, and understanding." And that is a massive, massive red flag. The people making video games now are not making video games. They are making political propaganda. And they're telling you that is what they are doing. A platform for dialogue, discovery, and understanding. It is not just a video game. They are literally trying to indoctrinate you into their agenda. It's not a video game anymore. They're not making video games like they did back in the 90s, early 2000s. The people that are making games now are not the same people who were making games in the 90s, the early 2000s. They are making games as political weapons. And they admit it. This guy is literally admitting it right here. He continued, "Our commitment isn't just about reflecting on the past. It's about ensuring that the stories we tell continue to unite, inspire, and challenge players regardless of their background. And we'll continue to stand by these values because they are central to the heart of the franchise, and I believe to the future of storytelling itself. Ultimately, we believe that the diversity and richness of the human experience is what helps Assassin's Creed resonate with players across the globe, and we're committed to standing firm on that foundation." He later reiterated, "Assassin's Creed is more than just a game. It can be a platform for meaningful exploration and reflection wrapped in the excitement of unforgettable gameplay." There you go. They are not making video games anymore. It is a platform for meaningful exploration and reflection wrapped in the excitement of unforgettable gameplay. He is literally admitting that it is a skin suit. It is propaganda dressed up as a video game, wrapped up as a video game. That is what this guy is saying. And it is that fusion of creativity, diversity, immersion, and fun that continues to define the franchise and connect it with players around the globe. He's going to find out that it's not connecting anyone. It is tearing people apart. And he's the one tearing people apart because he has pushing this divisive agenda. He also said this during the speech: "History is inherently diverse, and so is Assassin's Creed and the stories we tell. So to be clear, our commitment to inclusivity is grounded in historical authenticity and respect for diverse perspectives, not driven by modern agendas." This whole idea is literally a modern agenda. Like, everything he's saying here is a modern agenda. This view of history is a modern agenda. Furthermore, he blamed gamers for creating division around the game. "The current climate is tough on our creative teams. They face lies, half-truths, and personal attacks online. When the work they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening, it can be devastating." So this is all gaslighting, right? They're the ones who chose to make Assassin's Creed Shadows. They're the ones who chose to work with Thomas Lockley. They're the ones who pushed the lies of Thomas Lockley. They're the ones who are claiming that Yasuke is legitimately a samurai when multiple Japanese historians have said that is not the case. They're the ones who continue to try to claim that they're actually teaching you history when they keep getting rebuked over and over and over again by Japanese historians. Ubisoft and Mark Alexis Cote are the ones who are lying, spreading half-truths, and personally attacking people, which is what he's doing right here. He's attacking gamers. He's lying to our faces. When the work they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening, it can be devastating. Yes, that is what you are doing. That is why people are going to reject your game, because you've turned it into a symbol of division. And it's disheartening and devastating. People are going to reject it. That's what's going to happen. What keeps me going is the resilience born out of conviction that I see in our teams every day. I'm especially proud of the Shadows team for staying true to their creative vision and the core tenets of Assassin's Creed. Again, this is the executive producer on Assassin's Creed basically saying no one dared to question this original creative vision and said, no, we shouldn't be doing that. So that answers, I think, Laura Frier's question here about her being baffled. None of these people. Thought no one said that, no, maybe we should stop doing this. Did any of the executives at Ubisoft question whether or not doing Assassin's Creed Shadows was a good idea? I think the answer is no. No one questioned it at all. I think this answers it definitively here. Staying true to the creative vision and the core tenets of Assassin's Creed with Shadows, the Shadows team. He later doubled down on this, saying, the stories we tell, the characters we create, and the game worlds we build are instrumentalized by those who seek to silence creativity, to stoke fear, and incite hatred. That's what he's doing, right? He's stoking fear. He's inciting hatred by pushing the DEI agenda, by lying about Yasuke, by saying it's the gamers who are spreading lies and half-truths when it's him. It's him who's really doing this. Then he goes on and I think this guy's like a CNN journo. I believe we are facing what author Fareed Zakaria calls an age of revolution. Maybe it's MSNBC. Either way, you get the picture. A time when the real conflict is not between the left and the right, but between societies that close themselves off and those that open themselves up to the world. Throughout history, it's the open societies that have always eventually prevailed. That is absolutely not true. There is literally the story of the Tower of Babel. They had a massive open society and they were cursed by God. And they were spread all over the place. This is just factually untrue. Again, goes back to it's this guy who is spreading lies and half-truths. I mean, the Roman Empire, what happened to them? Doesn't exist anymore, right? While there may be setbacks over years or even decades, it is openness that has continually pushed humanity forward. Forward to what, right? Forward to the gates of hell? Because sure, openness to all kinds of perversions does lead you straight to hell. So in that sense, I guess he is right. So I think it's pretty clear that this game is not going to go well. It's not going to blow over, and Ubisoft is not going to be able to navigate it. They're doubling down on it. They're tripling down on it. They're attacking people they want to purchase their game, saying that we're spreading lies and half-truths when it's actually Ubisoft doing that and Mark-Alexis Cote doing that. They're trying to gaslight you about history being inherently diverse. And it's their commitment to inclusivity is grounded in historical authenticity. Give me a break. Your website makes it very clear that you're pushing modern agendas and that you're pushing the DEI agenda. Who do you think you're fooling? So this game is dead. They spent an extra 20 million euro to try to salvage some of it, and I don't even think they're going to recoup on that. I think that they're going to lose even more money. This game is over. And the more these people talk about this game, the more damage they do, the more people they turn away. And it goes all the way back to the beginning. And this is the problem with Star Wars Outlaws as well. Why did they even choose to make Kay Vess the main character in Star Wars Outlaws instead of literally Han Solo, which is what they should have done? Why did you choose to make Yasuke the main protagonist instead of a male Japanese samurai? I mean, these are absolute no-brainers. Common sense. And the people at Ubisoft have none of it because they are so infected by the woke mind virus. They have erased their common sense. They have suppressed it significantly because it's all about the agenda. Mark-Alexis Cote makes that abundantly clear in this speech he gave at this BAFTA event in London just a couple of months ago. But let me know what you guys make of Laura Frier basically admitting that this game is pretty much dead and her saying that she's baffled at the fact that it was greenlight to begin with. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.